gospel, light of the temple. Sword swing, killer live from the ghetto. The hood messenger, let them know hell's close. Blackberry on the devil in a black cloak.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast. I'm your host, Dave One, and this is episode number... Yo, Cam, what episode is it? 116. 116. So last episode, if you hadn't caught it yet, go and watch it. YouTube, Instagram, no, not Instagram. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Definitely go and subscribe. Check it out. It's with our good friend Kyle Carnahan, Superhuman Father. Solid dude, man. It was a fun podcast. I was talking about it with Pastor Adam, and he was saying, man, I love this podcast. It's great. He's like, Kyle is cussing up a storm in one breath, crying in another one, and then saying he loves everybody. But great testimony from Kyle. Great to see all that God's doing in his life, in his family, in his business, man. So it's a great story, very transparent story, and he's a really, really good dude. So make sure you go check that out. But today, lately we've been having right, Cam? We've been having return guests. The last guest was a return guest. Today is a return guest, but I'm excited about today because today, I think gotta put a little music on here. I was tripping out that today it's only been a little over a year. This guy was here in May of 2024, and so much has changed in just a little bit over 1 year. Like, what is it? 1 year, 3 months. So a lot's changed. He is a MMA fighter. He is an Inland Empire product. Doesn't live in the Inland Empire no more. He's moving on up, like George Jefferson. He is a brother in the Lord, a father, a solid guy, great attitude. So I want to welcome again to the Street Gospel Podcast, the Tarantula, Jalin Turner. What's up, man?
Oh, it's good, bro. Great intro.
Hey, man, I tried. I messed it up a little bit at the end, but I think I try.
It keeps it genuine.
It keeps it genuine, right? I tell everybody when they come to the podcast, like, if you don't want to talk about something, just tell me. And then we won't talk about it because we don't edit anything. Right. So every time you watch something on the podcast, we don't edit nothing. It's just we put the intro, outro in, and then whatever the guy says, we do. And so far it's been good. But I think it makes it more authentic and genuine that we're not chopping and making you sound crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you been, man?
Man, I've been good.
Been good?
Good.
You, a lot has changed. Okay,
Yeah.
we keep in contact on the gram. I've seen you training everywhere, and you're always welcome. Like, it seems like in every gym you show up at, right? People know who you are, and a lot of cool people. And been on some podcasts, and I saw you on Jackson, and still grinding, still doing your thing. See you with your kids a lot, And okay, so I was thinking about you today, and I said, and I thought it was longer since the last time you came, right? I was thinking like, it was maybe 2 years ago, but when we were tripping out, it was a little over a year.
Yeah, it felt way longer.
Yeah, but now it makes sense because I was gonna say, so when you came last time, you were you're still on the roster, the UFC roster. You haven't been let go. They let a whole bunch of people go the other day. I saw that, but you're still on the roster. But you said you retired. You were moving to Florida. You already had some roots there for a little bit, and you were trying to figure all that with the kids and everything, and you looked like you were on the road down the aisle there to get married. So that's changed. My son pointed out, hey, he changed. He looks different. He's all got some nice fade, all cleaned up. And then one big thing, I noticed you've been very outspoken about your faith more than ever on your Instagram. So, your career changed, your relationship changed, your address changed, I guess your heart changed. Well, is that fair to say all that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been a massive amount of changes. And those are just a few to just point out. But, yeah, dang, which one do I start with?
Anyone, man, anyone. I'll be honest. I looked back on that podcast. You were great. but I didn't see that smile as much as I seen in the last 5 minutes or however long we've been on, right? I think you were kind of like there was a lot of things going on inside, right?
Yeah, the last just like a little refresh. The last time I came on, I was coming off a loss. I was coming off like just a bunch of drama and all this other stuff, and like still just trying to like get like settled into like growing in my faith and everything. So yeah, it was a lot. But now, fast forward, a year later, yeah, I moved to Florida. I moved back. Yeah, I retired. I'm still on the roster. I've just been growing in my faith. Like that's been my number one thing is just, keeping God first, keeping my heart for the Lord first. And, I've just been seeing the fruit out of it, it's just like, Matthew 6:33, just seek the Lord your God and, seek his kingdom and all his righteousness and everything else will be added. And that's what I've been kind of just seeing.
Yeah. I've seen that. And you look more, sometimes you see people and they just don't look comfortable in their own skin, right? Especially like the last fight. I was like, the last 2 fights, I was like, man, he doesn't look like, like himself, and we talked about like some vulnerabilities you had in the ring, finishing people and being more mean, I guess, I think the last one, it was rough because I was like, okay, I could tell, he landed it, I think in a triangle, and I'm like, no, I'm like, no, what? I'm like, he knows better than that. I was like, there's no way, this is not because this guy is great at triangles. This is because Jalin, something's going on. I'll just be honest with you. And I was like, there's no way. Like, is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. I don't want to take anything away from my opponent. He got the sub at the end of the day, but we're gonna go grapple after this, right?
Yes.
Okay,
so I'm gonna see
I'll let you
what you all about.
I'll let you put me in a fully locked triangle, and if I get out, I get out. If I don't, I'll tap. And I think that'll answer your question. But no, so it was.
Notice how he said he'll let me. That's the key.
It was. That was just like. I just didn't want to be in there, like I didn't want to keep. I thought about it. I was thinking about it when I was in a triangle. Like I don't remember the last time I've been put in a triangle or subbed with a triangle in the gym. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I'm just like, I just don't want to be in here. If I get out of this, I got to fight him for another 15 minutes or however many minutes, Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And, that was just kind of like, dang. But, it came with a lot of peace after. But, like, everything that entailed that was just all the stress I was going through in the camp.
Yeah.
I was just, like, just up and down, just, back and forth with just, like, coaching. And there's just so many little, like, factors. And, even leading up to that, past that, like, the retirement decision was just, like, an accumulation of, like, a lot of stuff in the behind the scenes, and that triangle, he threw it on, and I felt it before it was about to come on. My coach literally like yelled out an instruction. I was like, oh snap, and then like he like bucked me to the side and he threw it up, and I was like, oh okay, and I was like, I know how to get out of this, and I thought about it, and I was like, do I really want to get out of this? Like I was like, do I want to fight out of this? Because I'm gonna have to keep fighting after this. And I was like, I was like, nah, I don't think I do. And I was like, all right, that's it.
For the fight fan out there, that the armchair quarterback Monday morning fight fan out there, right? He's looking at you and going, like, oh, this guy's just is just weak or whatever. But for those that don't know, what is camp like, and what is it like leading up to that, and how much pressure? I mean, you guys a lot of times hide it very well, I would assume. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, I train, it's just in the gym. It's not in front of a million people. There's not people depending on me to come out with a W. What are some of the pressures in that camp and leading up to that fight?
It's you just ramp up everything in training. You know, there's a lot of pressures. Like that last camp, I was in Dubai for I think like a month. I was in Dubai for like a month. You know, just away from family and everything, and just training, trying to like do that whole nine. And it is a lot of pressure. You know, it's like, all right, well, I got people depending on me. It's like those people, you know, like the armchair people we talking about. Like it's like, okay, we go to your job and we're watching you every step you make, every move you make, every mistake you make. Like your boss is watching you 24/7. You know, and then if you make a mistake, you get ridiculed by everybody. Like, how would you feel if you going to work with that kind of pressure? You know, it's like make it justified, like make it rational. You know, it's like that's what I deal with in my career. You know, but again, that's why I'm in the position that I'm in, because I was able to handle those kind of pressures. And also, heck, a part of those pressures are part of the reason why I wasn't able to perform the best of my ability, because, you know, I just didn't have the circle or backing at a certain point. So to mentally recover. But, you know, as far as the fight, the camp goes, that was pretty much it about it.
So the physicality of
that's all day.
It's all day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's all day, but a lot of it is the mental. And the pressures of that.
Yeah, because physically, I was in the best shape of my life.
You look great. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he looks good.
I was on weight easy, like weight was super low, like, but mentally, I was just like, honestly, the only reason why I fought that fight is because I got confirmation from God to fight that fight. I was gonna pull out of that fight. My buddy Daniel Matos called me at like, I think it was like, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, and I was just like chilling in the car, just kind of just going through it, and I was like, man, I'm about to like call my manager and tell him like I don't want to fight, like that was too much going on. And he calls me and he's like, man, like I had you on my heart for like the last 30 minutes, but you know, I just had to like give you a call right now. Mind you, before this, I hadn't talked to this man past like 8 o'clock, you know. I was like, okay, like he never like called me at this time. So, you know, he's a man of God himself. So it was just like, all right. So I was listening, and he quoted some things that I said, and he quoted the first scripture that I ever remember was Psalms 1:4-1. And I was like, wow. I was like, all right. He was like, I think God still wants you to fight. I was like, are you sure, bro? I was like, nah, not like this. I was like, not like this. And that call is the reason why I fought that fight. I was just like, all right. I was like, I'm going to just be obedient. You know, I didn't want to, like, went against everything. I was like, all right, I'm going to just do it. You know, God told me to. I felt like that was confirmation, and I did. And that's why I felt that peace, you know, because I was just like, regardless of the outcome, I was obedient to my Lord.
Right. Did when that happens to you and you kind of retire, and what is the organization saying? Are they saying anything to you? Are they trying to talk you out of it, or do they care? What are they saying to you? Because you're not old. You're in the prime of your career. So I mean, the talent is there. Everybody sees it. So I'm thinking, like, what are they saying? You're not like, you know, it's not like one of these fighters that like 8 fights in a row. They're like fought forever, and like, what are they telling you, man?
They're just telling me like, it's like, are you sure? Like, you don't want to think about it? Like the emotions were like settle down. Like, you know, like, are you sure about this? Like, are you sure? Like, no. Like, they like, all right. Well, like, call me on Monday. Talk to me later. You know. You know, Dana told me like I could leave my gloves in the octagon, but you know, some kind of confusion happened that I didn't get to, and I'm like, dang, okay, like, so even with that being said, like, I didn't even get to leave my gloves in the octagon. Like, did I really retire? You know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's been plenty of guys that have said they wanted to retire, and I think if you're a true fight fan, and there's some guys that say I'm retiring, and you're like, yeah, that's good, that's a good move. You know what I mean? There's some guys that retire, and you're like, okay, settle down. Let's just let him collect himself in a couple of months. I mean, that's kind of how I felt with you. Like, I was like, he's going to retire. Like, and then I saw you like a couple weeks later getting your wheels back, and then you're in the gym again. And I can, okay, he's feeling it again. Like, he's not done. So I was figuring like you were probably coming back. With that said, are you back? I mean, I'm not saying you reveal a fight if that's in it, but I mean, are you open to coming back?
Yeah.
Do you want to fight again?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We got the scoop. We got the scoop on Jalin right now. He wants to fight again. So I think it's good. I mean, most people are gonna ask you, what's different this go around? Good. What's better this time around?
Dang, what's better? What's better is honestly just my mental space. You know, that's always the key. Everybody's told me this like for so long in my career. Like I have the talent, I have this, I have that, but it's always been mental for me. You know, it's like as long as I'm mentally there, everything else will follow and facilitate. Now I've gone through too many, battles to not really like lean and understand that like to be like truth, like factual. Even the last fight, physically, like I said, I was completely there. Mentally, I wasn't there, but I still went out and fought, being obedient. And then like even the decision to retire was just like I'm kind of just tired of going out and not performing to the best of my ability because it's like, yeah, I know fans want to see me fight, but also they also want to see me win. Like people want to see me fight at my best capabilities, not just like just going in there just to do it. Like it's not a game, like so. That was a part of like the decision, but the decision was still like pretty emotional at that point in time. But hey, time goes on.
I mean, emotion is part of it, man. You see guys cry when they lose, and sometimes cry when they win. It's just so much. I mean, Crawford the other day beats Canelo, and he just fell on his knees and was just bawling. I mean, you're thinking like this dude's bad, he's tough, and he just got the biggest win of his career and puts him in the upper echelon, and he's on his knees crying. But there is a lot of emotion, right?
Yeah, because as much as the hard work is put in, it's like it is emotional because you're sacrificing so much of your time, you dedicate so much of your life, so much of your effort. You like literally go to your wits' end, you go to your breaking points multiple times, just to get that moment of glory. And it's not guaranteed because there's someone else right across from you doing the same thing. So it's like it's the ultimate test of your will and just faith as well.
Yeah. Your team. You mentioned sometimes there's some hiccups here and there with the team. I mean, are you sticking with the team? Did you change some things up? Did you add some? Maybe you just added some pieces. I don't know. What would be your plan going forward?
Man, I just came back to Cali. I'm back with one of my old striking coach. I'm back with Anthony Gonzalez. I've been working with Daryl Christian lately. And then, yeah, that's pretty much been it as far as team goes. I've been at Tenore, and I've been training like the Bloodline guys at UFC gym. I've been training with Cub, all those guys. So that's been like a really good thing. A good backing, like good solid foundation of guys to work with. And it's like I go in the gym, I see that they're hungry and like wanting it and getting after it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be around this, So
I see Cub. I follow Cub. I've seen his little group of guys that he's building up. It's a pretty solid young group core of guys. I mean, and I always love Cub. He's a scrapper. He's down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then Tenore. So you go train at Tenore, which is Pat's place, right?
Yeah.
The old owner of Ruka. It's fancy there, bro. Pat is top notch.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
dope.
the man, bro. Pat was like one of the people that supported me before I even got to the UFC. Like, I remember he saw me spar Bisping, and I went to and this was the day, bro. This was the one day like in that camp, like Bisping, I feel like he got me.
Really?
And I was like, dang. I was like, and then I go to the side of the ring or the gym, and I'm just sitting on the mats, and I'm just upset, bro. I'm just mad, and I had a little cut. I don't know if you can see this little cut here.
Yeah.
Bisping did that this day.
Man.
And I'm like, man. And then Pat comes up to me. He's like, hey, kid, like you're in there with Michael Bisping. Like, what's your deal? Like, I was like, bro, what? Like, I respectfully, I thought he was just like a janitor or employee or something, bro. Like, he didn't dress dude, he just dressed casual. I was like, cool. And Pat's always just been a good dude. He was like, man, I want to work with you. I see a good future in you. You have a good talent, So I just kept showing up, and then a year later, they ended up sponsoring me. So he was my first big sponsor.
That's dope.
And that helped my career so much. I was driving from San Bernardino to Costa Mesa every day.
Man,
Just to show face.
Yeah, Pat's he has a good reputation amongst a lot of people that I know, and everybody say he's a solid dude.
He's
So
he's solid. He's super selfless.
that's awesome, man. So the changes, doing good. We mentioned all that. Definitely, you can see it in your face. You know, a lot of joy, and some peace I can see, which is awesome. We kind of know where that comes from, but what transformation as far as spiritually? We talked about physically and mentally, but spiritually, what transformation have happened in the last year and a few months, man?
Man, so I'll just say, when I moved back to California, I really got plugged in with my pastor, and I really got plugged in getting discipled, and I really got plugged in with the way, the church, and man, I just really started just abiding in the word, and I really just became obedient. I really like purified everything. You know, I literally gave my life to Christ, and that's just been the difference. Like I pray every day, read my word every day. Like I pray for people. You know, I just do like I answered the call. You know, and I just feel even further chosen. So that's been my like spiritual backing. And even with like the decision to possibly fight again, I was like, God, like, is that something what you would want me to do? Like, are you sure? Like, and I asked consistently. I'm like, all right, because I really got spiritually to a point where I can discern and hear God's voice. You know, I'm like, dang, like that was awesome. Like I don't know if you've seen the video the other day. I remember like a couple years ago, I was like going through a training camp, and it was in Dubai, and it was like when I first started like my walk back to to the faith. You know, like just started saying prayers and everything, like kind of trying to read the Bible a little bit. And I went through a hard training camp day, and then I was just like sitting on the balcony in Dubai, and I was just looking out at the water. I was like, God, I just need a hug right now. I was like, why can't you give me a hug? Like, and you know, it was just like super surreal. And then, like I think it was a couple of days ago, I was sitting in my car, and I was just like, I was kind of just like talking to God, like, oh, okay, like, you know, like kind of like as a friend, you know, like. And I just felt this embrace come over me, and I just like start hugging the air. I was like, God, did you just give me a hug? I was like, what? I was like, no way. And man, and then I had the vision of when I first said that. And I was like, wow. I was like, God, you're so faithful. I was like, that's amazing. And it's because I've been walking in pure obedience, faithfulness to him, that he finally rewarded me with that hug. You know, I was like, that's powerful.
I think a lot of people love the idea of being a Christian, love the idea of going to church, and it's great. You know, I tell people there is the casual person that comes to church, and they're good people. They probably love God, but when you totally surrender everything and say, okay, it's not my will, it's your will. What do you need from me? I think there is a difference there, right? And I think, was that a difference in your life? Was it one side was like Jalin, like, I love God, I know who he is, he's cool, man. And then another side that's like, now I'm in my word, now I'm being discipled, now I'm accountable, now I'm praying, and there's a difference, right?
There's a huge difference. And even in the Bible, it speaks about loving the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. You know, it's one thing to just, oh, okay, I believe in God. All right, I love God. How do you love God? How do you say you love God? How do you can say love is an action. So you can say it all day, but how do you show it? How are you displaying it? How are you bearing fruit? You know, what are you doing to be filled by the Spirit? Like, what are you doing to show his love? Because he gave you instructions. Love thy neighbor like thyself. Take care of his sheep, and obey his commands. If you're not doing that, if you're not living that out day by day, you're not really showing love. You're not. It's like do not be lukewarm. It's either you're in or you're out. You know, and a lot of people want the benefits of saying they're a Christian, of the sacrifice that Jesus made, but he sacrificed his life. Like, God gave his son, like, his life, his blood. So yes, we all reap the benefits because God loves us. He's always going to love us. He's always going to love his creation. Even if you're a child, like say you have children, right? Your children are disobedient to you. You're always going to love them no matter what. Right? The child that is more obedient to you becomes closer in relationship with you, regardless. You're always going to love them, but regardless, when you're closer in obedience, you become closer in relationship. It's the same thing with Christ.
Right. You talk about parents, and I was thinking of segueing a little bit into that. how is your relationship with your mom now?
Oh, it's so good. It's
Good.
actually good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm asking because your mom left a little comment one time after your first podcast, right? I felt bad because I was like, okay, I'm just the messenger here. I don't know. I, I don't know what to say, but I wanted to ask because I know God heals relationships, right? He heals our hearts. He softens other people's hearts, and then men's fences are disagreements or things, right? He puts it back together. Are things better now?
Things are better.
Okay.
We talk all the time. Me and my mom have a great relationship. But now lately it's just been, like it's been a lot of just scripture talk. And that's what I love. Like she'll come at me, hey, I don't know this, or like she'll kind of combat me with something, and I'm like, oh, all right, I got the scripture for that here, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, and that's how we kind of have like dialogue, and then we go back to like talking about, just little life stuff or like fighting, and our relationship is very mended and restored.
What's your mother's name?
Deidre.
Miss Deidre. See? We good? I hope we're good, Miss Deidre.
Yeah, when we had started, like we started, talking again and recounted everything. She was like, "Now we need to go on this podcast, and I need to tell my side of the story." I was like,
She needs to tell her. We're gonna stir it back up. No, we don't want to do that no more. We're good now. We're good, Miss Deidre. But that's good to hear, man. And you being a father now, what are some of the changes that are with your kids? I see you taking them to church, beautiful kids, man, and I see you developing in your fatherhood even more and further. How's that going?
it's been going great, man. I take my kids to go do outreach with the church. I just get to be the example of Christ for them because it's really important. Like, again, you can say something all you want, but and this is something I even like speak to people about, like being a parent. Well, you could tell someone something over and over again, and it might hold a little bit of value, but your actions will hold more value over time and set a foundation and structure over time deeper than any word you'll say. So what I'm doing is showing them by example how I live my life and how I live for Christ now and how I do things his way and by his word, because, me and their mom are together. So they already have the world on one side and I want to just be Christ on the other side, and it's like, I really want to pour into them spiritually and just set that good foundation because they're already going to be conflicted with the world regardless, So the best way to do that is by being the example, It's like the old apostles, like they became the example of Christ for the people that didn't get to see Christ. It's the same. It's just being discipled as well. It's the same.
Do they notice a little change in you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
I don't get mad anymore. Like they don't get whoopings like they used to. Like I'm like, hey, you're doing something wrong, right? I already told you about that. Like they get so much more grace,
Right.
because it's not that like I'm like sparing the rod or whatever, but they have an understanding and they've seen the change and difference, and they're really like intelligent kids. So I don't even have to go that far with them, And
Right.
I just love it. Like we have such a different dynamic and relationship, and they go with me to church. They go see what I'm doing. They're firsthand. Like they see my conduct with people. They see how I hold myself, how I carry myself, even differently. It's like they're my little witnesses.
I mean, the kids, they do a couple things for you, right? You want to set a good example, and then when you're not setting a good example, you remember them, and then you're like, I gotta set a good example. So yeah. I think that the kids, when they're watching you and you realize they're watching you and you want to set that good example, they kind of keep you in line in a weird way. There's probably been plenty of times my kids were younger and I wanted to do, well, even now, I want to do something crazy, right? And I'm like, I can't talk crazy. I gotta watch how I conduct myself because my witness to them is greater than anything else, man. They're our first disciples.
Yes,
they're the ones that see us day to day. I don't want to be the parent that's acting this way at church and then at home we're acting crazy, Exactly. Like I want to be the same person, so they see that because kids are a trip, man. They pick up on that stuff.
Yeah,
they know.
Yeah.
Has your children had the encounter yet with Christ? Are they still kind of filling it out and just following your lead? I mean, because every parent prays that their kid has the encounter.
I think my son's still filling it out. They both showed moments. Like my daughter had something like she went through like a couple hard times recently, like this year. In the hospital a couple of times, and she's really like leaned on like Jesus. Like I'm like, wow. I'm like empowered. Like I'm like, wow. My son, he'll like draw and write things like, write about Jesus and stuff, or but I think he's gonna get that breakthrough like later. But I think she's like she has a love for Jesus.
Knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something special when they get that encounter on their own, right? We can take them, we could show them the scripture, but I always pray like, man, Lord, like give them the encounter on their own, because that's what lasts, right? When they have that encounter with Jesus and they get that in their heart, deep in their heart, it's like can't stop it after that. It just steamrolls, and it's something that always is with them.
Yeah, amen.
So we know a lot of kids. I know a lot of kids that they just went to church. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was me for a while.
And they just, you're like, okay, I know Jesus, I love him, but I'm gonna do my thing. Yep. But definitely good stuff, man. Definitely a lot of positive stuff. Okay, one thing, I don't know if you're just putting it out there, but I'll follow you, man. So I see all your stories, and what I noticed is that you're reading a lot of marriage books and about marriage. So are we prepping for that woman of God to come by, and now you're gonna be like, I'm ready. I know what it takes. Is that what we're doing here, Jalin? Are we training to be that great husband?
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
True.
It's knowledge is power. I'm just learning. When I do it, I just want to do it right, and just be equipped. It's like anything. It's like getting ready for a fight. Like, you go out and do training camp, and then you're like, all right, I'm ready. And then like fight week comes, you're like, I could have did this better. I could have did that better. But it's like, like you already have like the knowledge and backing to like give you a solid foundation. And that's pretty much it. It's like the church offers it, and I'm just like, all right, I'll take it. And I get some good information, and it's not just it's not just solely like for marriage. It's also just for like good for relationships with people. Yeah. Like it's even like help my relationship with my sisters, my mom, like people in the gym, just like, I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to like hold a relationship value better, but it's also going to translate to marriage as well. So, yeah.
So if that woman of God comes, you're ready. Think of he's not putting it out there, sister. So he's not going to be on Christian Mingle or any of these sites, man.
None of that, no.
I mean, you're right though. If more people would do that, more guys would do that, I think they'd be ready. It's hard. It's a lot. The analogy of fighting, right? So it's a lot better to prepare before you get into the ring. Yes. Or the cage. Once you get in the cage, sorry. A lot of people don't prepare, and then they get married, and now they want to prepare. And it's like, man, it's a lot harder once you're in that octagon to try to prepare for what comes next and how to be a great husband or a great father.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was me. I was like, I'm like 20 years old, trying to navigate being a husband, and a year and a half later, I'm trying to navigate being a father, and I'm like, I'm already in the arena. What am I doing here? I'm getting beat up every day, and it's my fault because I didn't prepare, and I'm still not preparing. So it was just like, finally, I had to learn the hard way, man. And I think if more young men would do that, then they'd be ready, they'd be prepared. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot to admit you don't know something. Right. I mean, it's just. I mean, do you run into that even with fighting? Do you run into say like, man, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know, I want to get better at this. Are you one of the guys that say, well, how could I do that better? I want to improve this. I want to improve this every camp.
Yeah, always. I mean, heck, you see just by me getting a marriage book, like that's my innate like knowledge to get better at something. If I'm not good at it, I want to get better at it.
Nice. Let's shift gears. Let's talk a little bit about UFC. UFC is it's massive, right? It seems like it's getting bigger and bigger. Got the new is it Paramount deal, right? Fights are gonna be pretty much free as long as you subscribe to Paramount. I like that. As a fighter, what do you think as it grows and it's getting bigger? I mean, boxing seemed like, especially after last weekend, it seemed like it's on the rise. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But you had the two probably best guys in the game fighting each other. You don't really have that in boxing. You do in MMA and UFC. But what do you think going forward? Do you think for the fighters, is it improving? Is it getting better, or is it still kind of like don't know yet?
I don't know yet, honestly. I think that deal is gonna I think it's gonna generate more revenue, more like money being dismissed to the fighters. As far as I know and kind of heard, I'm not in the mix like that to know yet, you know. But it is what it is.
There's a lot of disgruntled fighters right now. I mean, they're just mad. Do you feel like, like that's them? I know my deal. I'm okay with my deal. I work on my own deal. I think because there's like some fighters are like cool. Some fighters are like disgruntled. A lot of them are not in the UFC anymore, right? I mean, you can't talk about. I guess you can't talk about Uncle Dana if you're still living in Uncle Dana's house. But I mean, is it? Do you think it's getting better, or do you think it's maybe? I mean, you come from. I mean, you fought in all those smaller, networks and stuff like that of organizations and stuff.
Yeah, so even by that, I fought in all the other organizations, and the UFC pays the best. So it's like I don't.
Yeah.
Not really not much argument at that point.
Right. I think if you're good, you get paid.
Yeah.
If you win, you get paid, right? Yeah. If people like you, you get paid. I mean, you could have, even if you had a poor record and people like you. I mean,
it's branding. So
right.
The thing I always took in mentally with the UFC is that it's such a big brand. And if you're just a part of that brand and your name is attached to that brand and you sell your own brand on top of that, you segue it, you can leverage and network and just create a business model out of that. It's like Dana always says, this is an opportunity. It is, because the UFC is such a big organization. You have a small run, you get a little fan base, post on social media, be entertaining, or however you want to network to your audience, and keep that core and just multiply it. And then you can use that wherever you go. It's still business, just marketing. Market yourself.
Market yourself, right? Here's the opportunity. Market yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure you get out there. Do you feel to be successful in there, you have to kind of like be this like somebody you're not?
No.
Okay. Good.
Absolutely not.
Because I always feel like there's guys that are true, and I'm not saying that you're like that, like you're out there. I think you're really transparent. I think you're really genuine. I think there's guys that are kind of like WWE characters a little bit, you know what I mean? Where they're kind of like a little bit extreme, and it might be their marketing ploy. I mean, that might just be for them, good for them. But do you feel that you need to be that way, or
I never felt like I needed to be that way, and people would suggest that I would be that way, and I'd be like,
oh,
no.
That's what I'm getting at. Do they suggest like, hey, you should be this way?
No one in the UFC
have a gimmick.
Yeah, like no one in the UFC has ever like told me anything like that, because I'm genuine. I go out there, speak genuinely. My interviews are genuine. I speak from the heart, and when I go fight, Everybody loves to watch me fight. So I think that's more so for the people that, they don't have a good style, or people don't really want to watch them fight. I go out there, I'm besides like my last performance, bro, like I'm trying to beat you. You know, we're going to go to the end,
Right.
Like everybody loves my fight with Dan, it's like, like that's me. Like I don't have to sell anything else past that. Like that's my brand.
Bobby.
Yeah, like I go out and put on entertaining fights. That's why the UFC like to have me on big cards, because they know I'm entertaining. I don't have to go sit here and run my mouth.
Yeah, if you got a good style, if you're genuine, I think that always sells good.
Yeah, and it just, that's my brand. There's guys that are good They like to have the gift of gab. They want to like talk a little bit, stir up the fight, and that's their brand. That's fine. That's their marketing. Like they go far with that. Me, that doesn't sit well in my soul. When my career is over, I don't want to look back and have like be cringed about me saying some crazy wild stuff to my opponent. You know, like that's just not gonna be me. You know, so like teach their own. And if it works for you, it works for you. But it's just not me.
Right. Do you ever feel like you almost were on the hook of maybe getting pulled into being something you're not because your opponent was talking too much smack about you or to you?
No, I think honestly everybody I fought has been
Pretty
respectful.
respectful.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like everybody that Oliveira fights is respectful too. You know, like Ilya probably said a couple of things like, "Oh, I'm like, I gotta like, I'll bring the pillow." You know, it's like, but that's Ilya. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
but it's like he's really humble in the octagon as well, though. You know, so it's like, all right, like that's his marketing. But the only time I really got into anything like a little bit heated was when I was faced off with Brock Weaver. That's the only time when I was like, all right, like I'm gonna like, all right. I was like, but you know, I wasn't even in my faith. Like I was in the world, you know.
But it still seems like it would take a lot for you to get out of of who you are.
Yeah, but the funny story about that was my buddy Roosevelt Roberts had fought him before that, and he was like, "Hey, be ready, cause he gonna get in your face." And I was like, "All right, I'm always ready for that." And then he like got in my face and he started talking, and I was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Hey, bro," I was like, "You fought my little bro. You about to deal with big bro now? Like, come on, it's about to be worse than that." And I was like, oh, I forgot what else I said. I was like, "This is crazy," but yeah.
Yeah, you get. I would assume at the end of the fight, you see the fighters, they embrace, and no matter what the smack talk was, it seems like it's water under the bridge. What is that feeling like when you go to battle, you're done, you fought hard, and you shake hands, you embrace? I mean, is it genuine, or is it just because you just want to show being a good sport, or
It's genuine because when you think about it, it's honestly it's an intimate moment. You know what I mean? Like it's intense. Like you're battling someone, you're fighting someone, you're trying to hurt someone, they're trying to hurt you, they're trying to best you, they're trying to feed their family. Or like we're all trying to do the same thing, get the same outcome. And you know, despite all what animosity happens, like we're out here putting energy into hurting each other. Like we're trying to win. So you just have to respect that. Somebody put months in advance to do this. Somebody put time and effort to do this. You know, it's like a lot of people are afraid to do that. You know, it's like you go out here and come step up. Like I respect that. It's a respect thing at the end of the day. Like it's one of the most primal things men can do still is like go fight. You know, it's like we just respect it and that's it. Like it's an embrace. Like the same way we spoke about earlier, it's emotional. Like some men cry when they win, some men cry when they lose. Like it's just the emotion. Like you respect that.
yeah? I would assume that you've probably had a boatload of different emotions while in the octagon, whether you won or lost. Has there ever been a time where you won and you weren't happy?
Yes. Yes. Okay. But I wasn't initially like, okay, initially after the fight, I was happy.
Yeah.
But fast forward thinking about the result of the fight and the pre-buildup of the fight, I was not happy with the fight because I didn't get to fight them at their best.
Oh.
And I was so distraught about that for a while. You know, like I was like, dang, like I didn't get it. Just it took away the victory from me. You know? And that's, and even that being said, like that's why like even with Ignacio, I say like, hey, like, you know, I don't want to take anything away from him because like when I knew that was me, I was like upset and frustrated. I was like, dang, like I may have won, but I didn't win at his best. Like, you know, especially like just being a fighter and just a warrior, you just want to fight somebody at their best, you know, like regardless. I was just like, dang, like I felt like I didn't earn my position because I didn't fight him at his best. But, you know, that being said, like that was the only time, like right after the fight, like right after the victory, I was happy. I was like on cloud nine. But then like looking back, like seeing him at the back room, seeing him at the weigh-ins, like seeing that he kind of just didn't want to be there, seeing that he was kind of a little like timid. And I was like, and I told my corner, I was like, he doesn't want to be here. I was like, I don't think he wants to fight. And I was like, dang. I was like, oh, I still got to go fight, you know? But like,
Right.
And
job.
yeah, he retired like a fight after that, and I was like, dang, like I knew it. Like I knew he didn't want to do it anymore. And I was like, it just took it away, you know. So I was like, all right, whatever.
You got to kind of look at it like just your job, right?
Yeah.
You got a job to do, and maybe you don't catch him at his best. I mean, I'm sure there's been plenty of times you haven't been your best, but you can't make that excuse, though, right? Can you say that?
Nah.
I love when fighters say this. Yeah, I had some injuries in camp, but I'm not gonna make an excuse, right? I mean, is that legit? I don't know.
No, we always have injuries. I think the only fight I ever fought, the only fight I ever fought that was closest to 100% was when I fought Jamie Malarkey. That was the only fight. Every other fight, dude. Before this fight I was talking about, before that fight, I tore my tricep tendon and I had a bone spur, like so it broke, or I had like a bone fragment in my elbow a week before the fight, and I still fought and I won.
That's wild.
So it's like, yeah, there's always injuries. When I fought Brock Weaver, I tore the muscle and tendon on my hip. I like tore it off the bone, like all kind of like wild stuff. I think my last fight I had a torn meniscus.
A torn meniscus.
Yeah.
And you still how long before you fought that fight?
I think like maybe like 3 weeks. 3 weeks out.
And what are you thinking? Are you thinking like, this is wild, man?
I knew it was torn because I had the torn meniscus when I fought Matt Favola. So I was like, oh, I know what this is. All right, it's all good. And I just knew like I would be able to push through it. And then once I fight, like hey, UFC, my knees hurt, recovery, surgery, thank you. You know? So,
yeah.
That's what it was. But it's like I didn't know for sure if it was a torn meniscus, but I've had a torn meniscus, so I was like, it feels the same way, and I'm pretty sure it's a torn meniscus.
Is there any injury that will keep you out of a fight? Besides a broken arm or something.
Like just something that's like, honestly, nah, not really. Like as long as I can make weight, I'll probably like go through and fight. And it just honestly, it just depends on what's on the line, you know. Like,
right.
If it's a title fight, like I'm gonna go in there, you know. But if it's like, I gotta be smarter now, I guess. But I mean, I would say like when you're in the UFC, you have to be smarter and wiser. But yeah, no, you're a fighter, man.
Right.
Like we go through pain, injuries, all this stuff. Like, you just do it. You just go do it, you know. And like Jared Gordon. He just fought Rafa a couple weeks ago. A car backed into his knee. Like he definitely he tore something in his knee right before that fight. Ugh. He fought because he didn't want to let the fans down. Like it's like I respect that, you know?
Yeah.
Like regardless of the outcome, like you respect those kind of things. And we do this for the fans, like not just because also because we're feeding our family, but it's like we really go out to war like for our fans too. Like we want them to see us like go battle. Like it's like your favorite sports team. Like you're always behind your favorite sports team. That's how our fans are, just for us, you know. So we always take that into account as well when we make certain decisions.
I like what Kobe said. Kobe said, why does he play? He played injured all the time. And you hear a lot of NBA players nowadays, they take 15 games off and they got to dial down their minutes. And it was like Kobe was out there like all the time, ice packs right after the game, messed up, dislocated fingers, shoulders, whatever, played all the time. And they said, why do you do that? And he goes, well, because there's probably a kid in the stands that never seen me play, been waiting for this game basically, and he's come tonight to see me play. And if I don't play, then I'm letting that guy down. Mm-hmm. And I was like, a lot of people a lot of players nowadays don't think that way. They're just like, oh well, this missed game. Sorry, it's a me type thing. But I think that's what makes fighters different. I mean, they realize like, yeah, this is my bread and butter. My fans are the bread and butter. I got to go out there and fight. These opportunities don't come very often unless you're Holland. You fight like every other month, it seems like. Fights like every other month. Like, wait a minute, he's on this card too? Just saw him last week. But it realistically, how many times can you fight in 1 year?
If you're healthy, as many times as you can.
I mean,
it's
tough though, right?
It's tough. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like 2 fights a year, 2 to 3 is like ideal. Like you're having a good year. You know, anything, at least 1 a year, at least
Yeah.
1. You know,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at in the UFC.
Right. Yeah. I think 2. Is it feasible to be a full-time fighter if you're only getting 1 fight a year?
Depends on what
Depends
your
who you are.
contract's like.
Are they all independent contracts?
Yeah,
They're all independent contracts. So nobody knows what. I mean, obviously they have to share what you got paid for the fight, but your contract, you're working out a contract for X amount of fights.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Over a certain amount of years, or just X amount of fights.
X amount of fights, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just get the rights to like continue it, you know. But yeah, X amount of fights, I believe.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's a little guarantee there that you're going to be fighting. I mean, you got to win.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing. So going forward, man, where are you at in the fight game, man? What are we gonna do, man? I gotta ask you. Because I'm like, I don't want to ask you because we're friends, and I was like, I won't put that pressure on him, but like, when can we see you again? Will it be this year or next year or the year after?
Oh my goodness. I plead the 5th.
You plead the 5th. All right. So he didn't say you won't see me again. I'll take it. But it'll be great to see you back in there, man. I think you have a lot to give, and I think this newfound peace and joy and all that God's doing in your life is definitely it's got to help.
Yeah, it's honestly it's helped a lot. Yeah, it's helped a lot.
I think, yeah, man. I think you're gonna be fine. I think there's a lot of fight. How old are you, anyways?
I just turned 30.
You just turned 30. I mean, we got at least 5 more years of top notch fighting, and the crown is still in your grasp. All right, let's just put it this. Who do you like that's in your weight class right now? Not who do you like to fight, but who do you like? Man, that guy's good.
I think Ilya is really good.
Yeah.
I think Ilya is really good. I think Fiziev is really good. I like the strikers. Islam is going up to welterweight right now, but he's amazing, So I think everybody in the top 5 is really good, but
for the layman out there, they don't like they want to see striking.
Yeah.
They don't like the wrestling aspect. Not even the jiu-jitsu. I'm not even talking that, just the straight wrestling. Let me get you down, hold you down, kind of beat you up. I mean, do you think is that I know that's the styles. I understand that, but for the average, once again, armchair quarterback, do you think that he doesn't really understand the fight game and that's just part of the game? You have to figure that out.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
There's no way of getting around that, right?
Yeah, that's why it's allowed in the sport, because it's allowed in the sport. You may not like it, but it's allowed. There's things in other sports that people don't like, but it's allowed. It's like, I don't know the whole context. That's why some people like college football over NFL, because the rule set's different. I don't know.
If you fight somebody though, and that he's a wrestler, he's gonna try to get you down. He's gonna try to just hold you, beat you up, smear you. You have to prepare for that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to take that fight?
No.
You want to get somebody that's gonna stand there and bang, right?
I like somebody that will do both. Like, I don't mind a grappler, but I want somebody that's gonna like strike into their grappling. So I don't honestly I don't mind fighting wrestlers either.
I know you'll say you'll fight anybody.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, everybody has a preference. I mean, if we're talking, a Diaz brother, you know what they want to do. It's just like a matter of, and you know what everybody wants to see. Does that play a role in who you pick too? Because if I'm watching you, like, I know your jiu-jitsu is good. I know, like, you're going to stuff a lot of takedowns. But I really want to see these long limbs just striking from, like, 4 feet away. Just, like, bam, and just eating up a guy. And then I want to see him strike back, too. I want to see him being game, like, okay, let's do it. There's something about that, right?
Mm-hmm. It's just it's entertaining. It's more honestly. I like the wrestlers that do have like good ground and pound. Like I love watching that as well, you know. But if you're just like laying stagnant, it's not fun, you know. I mean, especially for like the like casual fans.
Yeah.
Like me, I don't mind watching it as long as you're like progressing advancing the positions and everything, and like really doing stuff with it. I love watching grappling.
Right.
You know, like even me, like if I know I'm a better grappler than the guy, you going down. You know, it's like, hey, but this the striking aspect is just more entertaining. Everybody wants to see somebody like take a leg kick, a potential knockout. You know, fans love that.
Yeah, I think, yeah. When people complain about it, I'm just like, well, this is what this guy does. This is what got him here. We know what he's about. Like, okay, like you can be mad all you want. Does it make for a boring fight once in a while? Maybe. I mean, if you don't fully understand what's going on and what they're doing, yeah, everybody wants to see somebody just throw. I mean, just best man wins. Here you go, throw it in the ring. But I think there's something to be said for, you know, both aspects, and I do like both. I think when you have both in a fight, I think that's what makes a great fight, right? Because you're showing all the tools that you have in your toolbox.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what made John Jones great. Like he can do it all. You know, like he can grapple, he can strike, multiple diversities of striking as well, multiple facets of striking. That's what makes him great.
Is he the GOAT?
He's the GOAT, bro.
He's the GOAT, right? I mean, whether you like him or not,
yeah,
right?
There's no you can't argue that.
When you look at it, who he's fought, I mean, he fought all the greats. There's like really no fights where you can say, you know what I mean? Like I always feel like, I mean, I like John. I think he made some mistakes, and I think that's what kind of maybe hindered his legacy a little bit. But I think if you just look at his fight, just like we do with Tyson, it doesn't really matter what they did outside. It's just like he's the best.
Yeah, 100%. And then Mighty Mouse is up there too.
He doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't. He's like technically his technicality is his brain for the sport is insane.
Ridiculous. That one whatever move he did, he's famous for, and
he went the body lock armbar.
Body lock armbar, like standing.
Yeah, something crazy.
Something crazy. I mean, what about George?
George he's up there.
He's more in your weight realm there.
I'm lightweight. He's a welterweight.
He's a welterweight. He's a heavier one.
Yeah. George is up there. George is up there, man. Like he's a really solid mind in the game as well. Like he really like put on for the sport. He could strike, he can grapple, he'll win whenever, you know, wherever. So George was one of the good ones. Anderson is my guy, bro.
Anderson
is always gonna be.
Have you ever had a chance to spar with him or anything?
No, I haven't sparred with him, but we fought in the same card in Australia.
That would be nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, I would love to spar with John. Not John. I'll spar with John before. I would love to spar Anderson. That would be so amazing. Yeah, I'm cool with his sons. His sons are awesome.
What made him great?
His style.
Right.
Bro, his style is just elusive. Like his striking. Dude, like nobody can really take him down. And John, man, he was so good.
Yeah, he was so unassuming, right?
Yeah.
I think when he comes in the in the octagon, he's not like this super ripped dude. He's kind of just like, hey, Mr. Nice Guy. We met him one time, me and Cam. Nice guy. Definitely was cool. Anderson, right? Wait, that's the spider. You're the tarantula. Did that inspire you for that name or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought about that right now. Yeah. Makes sense right now. What the heck?
Yeah, man. I wasn't gonna be the Spider 2 or something, you know, like
Spider-Man 2.
Like I kept it
Could have
original.
been Venom.
Yeah, but MVP already had the name.
Yeah.
I wanted something original, so Tarantula. Nobody had that. I looked it up. This was 2013 when I looked up the name. And then I really have like tarantulas. I own tarantulas, so it all tied together.
To me, there's like different generations. If we just keep it at UFC, right? Do you think and they've evolved, right? I mean, we talk about the early days of just no weight classes. I mean, that's really early. Then you get like maybe started to building the hype, maybe like the Tito Ortiz days, and you get to like a little bit newer George St. Pierre, and then now there's like a whole nother class of guys. Do you think that how much, like if you look at the fighters then, obviously respect all the way through, like how much has it really evolved? Like what do you think?
I think it's evolved a lot, and I think it's honestly like a little shift of ties right now. Poirier just retired. He's been in the game for a while. Hamzat just became champion. Who else? Who else is champion right now? John's been at the top for a while.
Yeah, he looks great at heavyweight. I wish he had some more fights at heavyweight. It'd be great.
Yeah, Aspinall just got, he just came up.
I want to see that one.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good. Who else? Moreno's champ for a while. Pantoja's champ right now. Joshua Van's coming up. He's about to, I think he's going to fight for the title next. This like Ilya just became champion. Volk has been in the game for a while. Izzy was in the game for a while. Like, I think he's going to fight again. It's just like, it's just been a new era. And it's like kind of, the shift of ties just happens like so like just transitionally,
Right. It seemed like the other day it was what's his name? Man, I can't believe I forgot his name. The middleweight champ. He seemed like he was on a run and nobody was going to beat him forever.
Piera.
No.
Israel.
Israel too is one of them, right? No, it wasn't that middleweight. Maybe welterweight.
JDM's a champ. Bilal,
but there was
Kamaru.
Kamaru, yeah. I mean, I thought nobody was going to beat him. Like, I was like, oh, this guy's going to... and it was like, it seemed like from the jump from, to him, it was like, whoa, like this guy. And then it just, like, took another jump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many more jumps do you think it's going to go where it's just, like, extreme? I mean, we've seen like I said, the generations jump, but now it's like, I thought it was more like, hey, he's it. This is going to be hard to beat this dude. He has the whole package. He rocked Masvidal. He has hands now. He has power. His wrestling's great. And then he kind of just falls off. And then same with his. I mean, same thing. It's just like, okay. And we get Pereira, and it's just like, whoa. And then you think, well, his wrestling's not that good. So where can we? Is there any stopping in evolving, or where does it go from here?
I think there's always an era where there's a style that's just taking over. Like even in Anderson Silva's like reign, and it was Anderson, Jose Aldo. It was like that was like the era of the strikers. Like they were just striking, nobody could take them down. Like beautiful. And then now it's like kind of been a shift more towards like the Dagestani grapplers. Brazil was like running the game for a while, and then now it's kind of like shifting. Then America kind of came in, and now it's like, like the Dagestanis. It's like the Georgians.
Yeah.
They're all like coming up and becoming champions as well. Like
wrestling with bears when they're like 9 years old and stuff.
So it's like there's always. I think it's like an era of styles as well, like in that aspect. When I kind of like look at it, like what region is winning, it's like champion. So that's one of the things. And then, it's just,
Do you study that kind of stuff?
I don't study it. I just take notice of it.
Yeah, because you would think that you would have to like, okay, this is where it's going. I need to be ready.
Yeah, you always want to. Here's another thing I'm going to tie into that. Anderson Silva was amazing, but I think he was so ahead of his time, with his skill set, with his mindset, with the way he did things and the way he was striking. I feel like now it's kind of like it's been the same up until I would say recently up until Volkanovski fought Islam, it was like that. Wow, like they're so ahead. Like Khabib was definitely really ahead in his grappling. Islam was really ahead in his grappling. Arman really ahead in their grappling. And then now you're starting to see like, oh, okay, they're starting to look human. They're starting to look like, oh, okay, Volkanovski got really close. Okay, like Arman got close to beating Islam, or like these things, these little like pieces, and it's like, oh, it's catching up. The game starts catching up. So then you have to evolve again. It's like, okay, we're going to learn good takedown defense so we can facilitate our striking to advance them, because they're so good in their grappling. But if we can nullify that, then we got to be really good in our striking to beat them. It's like that kind of shift, more or less than an actual, like more or less than just like a simple takeover. It's like, okay, adapting to who's champ, what's champ, what made them champ. Because that's why you see, like even when Max Holloway fought Jose Aldo, why did he beat Jose Aldo? He studied him for so long. He adjusted towards his style for so long because he aspired to fight him one day. He was in the same weight class. He's seen him. And when you study someone for so long, you naturally will adapt and just read them and be able to beat them. And that just shows throughout the realm of MMA, because there's so many aspects to win and beat someone with, versus like boxing. You really just have to be a purist at your style and really just focus on one aspect and fine tune that for yourself the best you can, and not really have to worry about any other aspects. But in MMA, there's so many things like, okay, if this is your style, this is your absolute style, this is what you win with. Yeah, you can kind of get better at certain aspects of it, but that's never going to be you. It's never going to be like your way to win. Like it's never going to be your go-to when things get hard. Like you'll be like, okay, I can beat someone at this, but when things really get deep, like championship rounds, that's when you'll kind of just revert back to what you were raised in to win. Like when Islam fought Dustin Poirier, like he subbed him in the fifth, I believe. Fifth or fourth.
Yeah, he fought
but he
valiantly.
His striking was good. Like they were having like a back and forth, but then you go back to what you know how you're gonna win, And there's also another aspect as well of understanding how to get somebody comfortable in a different game, and then it's so many things. I'm sorry, I could go on and on about this.
It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, it's a Rubik's Cube, exactly. But you simplify the easiest way to adapt to the quickest way to win, the easiest way to win, smoothest way to win.
In boxing, there's the saying that styles make fights.
Absolutely.
Or fighters. Is that the same for you guys?
Absolutely, because even though there's different facets of fighting, like kickboxing, boxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, there's all these little branches, right? You can advance in one of those branches to nullify whatever the other person is good at, or if you're better than them at that, you can expose that, even if it's not your main core. So that's what makes it a little bit more tricky and also easy to beat someone in MMA, because there's more ways to win, more ways to lose. Boxing, you either knock them out or you beat them to the end. You win them by decision.
Right.
And based off of, okay, this person's a counterpuncher. All right, I'm gonna try to draw him in, get him uncomfortable counterpunching. Then I'm gonna advance that, and I'm gonna play that game in and out, get him out of his zone, get him ready to counterpunch, counter as counter, and then pull back, and then make him come forward, because that's not where he's comfortable at. And boxing is like, you can kind of simplify it that way as well. Or you got Mayweather, who's a specialist at defense. What does he do? He just draws everybody into trying to get into a firefight. Yeah. Rope-a-dope. His cardio is amazing. He gets people tired, and he just starts picking them apart. He doesn't get hit much. He's smooth, and he just does it really. He critiques everything, and he's really sharp with that. Lomachenko, footwork amazing. He's gonna throw numbers at you like crazy, angles at you like crazy. How are you gonna keep up with it? That's the styles in boxing. And versus like MMA. All right, this guy's a kickboxer. What am I gonna do? Take him down. All right, this guy likes leg kicks. What am I gonna do? Check his leg kicks. He's gonna shut the leg kicks down, and I'm gonna throw boxing on him. How do you stop a wrestler? You start lifting up your knees, making them think that something lateral is gonna come up. And then if that doesn't work, what if he gets you down? And then it's like, oh shoot, I'm stuck. I get down, I'm stuck. Then I gotta wait it out to the next round to get back up, go back to striking. But when I do that, if he gets successful in the takedown, he's gonna be more confident to take down the next round. Right. So it's like so much little shifts that you have to focus on with MMA. But also, if you're really good at shutting it down, then you're good at playing your game.
Right. When you get in there, are you trying to dictate where the fight goes right off the bat? Are you filling it out a little bit?
Oh man, shoot.
Or is everybody or is there a different game plan for everybody?
Everybody has a different game plan. For me, I study so much on my opponents that every time I go in the first round, I don't try to finish people in the first round. I really don't. Like, it just happens because I've studied so many habits, and I can take advantage of it so quickly in that first. Now I'm really like, okay, how do I just kind of just slow it down, pick people apart, just more labor towards the later rounds. That's what I kind of like started like leaning towards in my training, because I'm always going to know I'm going to have that advancement in the first round, but then it has to lean towards my third round.
Right.
But everybody's different. Like, some people start off slow. Some people are like, I just want to feel you out, touch this and that, and then they pick up in the later rounds.
So you're making the game plan for whoever you're fighting. You're catering around that.
Dang, I don't even want to give this out.
Oh, okay, forget it then.
I don't make a game plan per se. I always want to make somebody adjust to me, but I take into account what they're good at. And I take into account what their habits are.
Yeah.
So I always focus on the absolutes, things that they're not going to be able to change, no matter what. What's a habit that they've done from their first fight to their last fight? What's a habit that they've done over and over again? What's a habit that they've tried to adjust to and mask, or something that they tried to build off of? Because that's always going to remain the same. And whenever I start, as soon as I can see that in my, like, when I study people, it's like a moment where it clicks, and I'm like, oh, I got it. I know that's what it is. That's what I need to work on. That's how I'm going to open this door. That's how I'm going to hurt them, or whatever aspect I need to. And like, that's it. Like, that's my route. And then I start making like little alternate routes off of that. Like, okay, he steps this way. All right, I'm going to watch this way. Oh, he likes to throw that spin. Okay, I'm going to just time this. Oh, he likes to throw the leg kick. All right, check.
Yeah.
And then I can, like, when I fought I fought Max Mustaki. I watched his fights, and every fight he likes to get into wars, and he always throw his hands up. And I was like, he does that to me, I'm throwing that straight left. and lo and behold, he did it to me, and boom, I hit him with the straight left right away. It's like little things like that that they're going to do. Like Dustin Poirier, he always pulls his shorts up.
Yeah.
It's like habits that they're always going to do. That's what you focus on. And that's what I focus on. That's the best route to success for me in my mind, because, all right, if you focus on the strikes, all right, he likes to throw this strike, he likes to throw that strike. What if he doesn't throw that strike that same exact way? But he's going to do something.
Right.
He's going to step a certain way. He's going to move a certain way. He's going to like to throw his head a certain way. Like, those are the things that are always going to be absolute, because you can make small adjustments in the moment. Because you can think, oh, he's always going to throw a straight right. He's always going to throw a straight right. What if he makes it into a straight hook? Or what if he makes it into an overhand? It's like, you can't predict that.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, I let that go. It's like, what does he do? How does his body move before he throws it is what I'm focusing on. Like, the natural aspects of the movement that you do that you are not going to change. Because our bodies are all designed to move a certain way, to do a certain thing, and it's just habits that we have. Like, you can tell not everybody runs the same, not everybody walks the same, not everybody grapples the same, not everybody strikes the same. I don't care if you're twin brothers, you don't strike the same. You have different styles, right? And those are the things, like, you'd have different habits and tendencies. Those are things that I focus on to best calculate what to do in my fight against my opponent.
Good stuff. You got to study your opponent. You got to know who your enemy is, right? Speaking of enemies, we've talked a lot of good stuff, but the enemy's constantly battling you, constantly coming against you. And we're talking about the common enemy we all have as believers, right? But I mean, how do you fight back against him? Because he has a lot of tactics, man. And he uses everything, right? He throw everything at you, and you're just like, whoa. What's your strategy, man?
Resist the devil, and he will flee. Ephesians 6:13. I put on the full armor of God. Man, that's That's honestly it. And honestly, another thing too is like just being in discipleship and being around the faith and people in the faith and just being around, just even knowing what I've gone through and knowing how he'll try to operate and try. Like it's always been the same. It's always been the same since the beginning, you know. So I'm just like, all right, like when and where, what are you trying to do? And I'm just like, oh, I know why I'm arguing with you right now. I know why you're coming at me like this. I'm like, bless you. I'm like, I know what this is.
Yeah.
And that's honestly just how I do it. You know, that's how I just resist it. I'm just like, all right, I'm not about to get into this back and forth with you. I'm not going to get in my flesh with you. I'm not going to sit here and entertain this negativity that you want to bring. I'm just send you off with a blessing. Like, you know, it's like a wise person and a fool arguing or two fools. I'm not about to sit here and argue. But I will say there's been like deeper things in that. Like, you know, my daughter was in the hospital a couple of times. Like that was really hard, but you know, I just
How's she doing?
she's doing well.
Good.
Yeah, she's doing well. So you know, those are you know, it's just like the enemy's just trying me. You know, I was like trying her too. I was like, all right, I get it, you know, like but you know, we just count it all joy. All trials, various trials come. You just count it all joy for your faith gets a chance to grow, your endurance gets a chance to grow. So that's what I've been doing with it. You know, it's I feel like that's our family motto. You know, like, just count it all joy. So yeah,
I think it's life, right? Things happen. Things
Absolutely.
come your way no matter what. It rains on the just and the unjust. I think the thing that makes us different is that we have Christ. We have hope, and we can go to him and we can ask him for the help. But I think in another aspect, like you said, I think when you're surrounding yourself with people and some accountability, you got some good brothers and around you to keep you accountable. I always think like it's like having good sparring partners. You know what I mean? I need good sparring partners to keep me sharp. If I have some guys that ain't keeping me sharp, it ain't helping me at all. So sometimes you gotta like, okay, you gotta get rid of this guy because he ain't doing nothing for me. He's just pulling me down. But I think it's important to have the right team, right? The right people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, you know, even spiritually, you gotta have the right people that can like help you navigate through these things, or that have gone through and know how to help you be equipped. You know their word and like, you know, just help you.
So Jalin comes to the end of his career. Let's just say, right? We'll just say it's down the road sometime. What does Jalin do at the end of it? What do fighters do? Because I always see there's a couple things that there's some successful ex-fighters out there. There's guys run their own gym. You know, there's guys that do training. There's maybe have a business. I saw Dan Henderson down the road here open, you know, a restaurant, brewery. There's maybe even acting. But what does Jalin do at the end of his fighting career? And it's a long way off, we know. But what are you looking to do once that time comes? Have you thought about that? Is that even on the horizon?
I mean, technically,
you're at the end of your career because you're still retired.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, just I don't know, do some business ventures for sure. You know, hopefully some stuff gets in the works right now and goes through smooth. A lot of people have been saying I'm called to ministry though, and I'm like, all right, like okay, like if you say so, I said, hey, if God calls me there, I'm gonna do it. You know, so yeah, we'll see. But that I would love that. You know, I just really want to like help the church, like help save people. You know, like just do good for people because like I always thought about it when I was in the world, especially. I always wanted to do something that like helped people. You know, I was like, what business can I do that would like help promote good? Because I was like, I was always just thinking about, something I could do good because nothing really like sparked my interest to do. You know, like gym, cool. You know, like go teach people, cool. Like that would help as well. But I really believe that it has something to do with the church. You know, I really believe like that's where I will end up after my career is done and help help churches grow and just help people really like shine the light of Christ, for sure.
I think you have a great story, man. I think you've come a long way, and I think you're still learning every day, whether it's in the fight game and business game, but most importantly in the spiritual game and your fatherhood, and hopefully one day in your husbandry. But I think those are all good things, man. I can't wait to see you again. I mean, it'd be great to see you fight again. If you don't fight again, I'll be a little disappointed, man, to be honest with you. But I think somewhere on the horizon, Dana didn't take you off the roster. I saw him take a bunch of people off the other day. I was like, oh, they're gone. They're gone. But you're still on there. So I think there is a lot of in your story. Obviously, God uses whatever we have, right? And I think the story of you coming from, Inland Empire and then making it to the top of the UFC and really dedicating your life to Christ is a great story. And however God develops that into helping people, he uses everything. He uses everything. And I think he's gonna use that. Even your relationship with Miss Deidre. You know what I mean? I think it's a great testimony in itself too. God heals families. There's a lot of families that are broken out there. Here's their story on that. Hey man, who knows what God uses that for? But one thing we know that nothing's ever to waste. And even in a fight might seem like it's a waste, but it's not always a waste. You either win or you learn.
Amen.
But you never lose, and I think that's the same thing for you, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree to that. Yes.
Maybe some acting, bro, because you looking fresh today, bro.
Oh man,
what's with the gear today, man? I'm like, this guy came looking great.
The
slacks and the lemon pepper steppers on, and I'm like, man, this guy's looking fresh.
Last time I just came in like a little tee, with dreads, and now clean cut, I was, yeah.
He's getting his grown man on today. Like, yeah, I'm showing people what I'm about today. We got to show the whole. God changed the inside and the outside.
Man, it's like I said, building the brand, marketing,
Yeah, marketing's it's cool. I mean, I think it's always easier, like you said, when you're just yourself, your authentic self. Then you don't have to push a narrative or anything like that. You're just transparent. I think that's what you've been your whole career. You've been pretty transparent about who you are, struggles, battles, wins, losses, and so I think fans like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. Bro, I just not in me. It's not in me to be fake. It's not in me to be somebody I'm not. It's not. I haven't ever been like that. I was just talking this. I was talking to Pat's son the other day about that. Because I was telling him about my faith. And where it all came from and how it's happened, and like how devout I've been. And I told him, I was like, dude, you've known me for what, like a decade now? I was like, you've seen me how I was before. And I've never supported anything that I wasn't like 100% like down for, So I'm not faking the funk with this. I haven't faked the funk with anything. I don't support anything that I don't support anything that I don't believe in, and that's just always how I've been. And especially now, knowing that I can go talk to people, minister to people, because my brand, I will say, has always been that.
Yeah.
I'm genuine. I'm authentic. I keep it real. I talk about my ups, downs, struggles, everything. If I put my name to something, I truly believe in it. And yes, that's where I'm at in the faith as well.
Did you get any pushback from anybody about when you really started showing your faith through your Instagram and your posts and things like that?
No.
Awesome.
It was a blessing, actually. It's been really received. And that's something that I was a little worried about, but I was just like, hey, I want to be bold for Christ. Like, I'm not going to deny him here. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to be timid. I'm not called for any of that. So I said, I'm going to do it. And I said I would do it. And he held me accountable. So I'm like, hey, he said, hey, you said, I'm like, all right, you're right. Like, you're right. You're right. And I'm like,
right.
Okay, Lord. Like, obedience. That's all it is, just obedience, because he's gone through it all. He's been betrayed, spat on, hurt, crucified. It's like, what do I have to be afraid of?
Right.
He already said all these people would do all these negative things. It's like, I have no fear. Like, I've been in his presence. I'm not ashamed. I don't care who thinks I'm crazy. I don't care who has anything negative to say. Like, I have felt the joy and peace of the Lord. So that gave me so much more boldness to just step out on faith. And if you don't mesh with it, if your heart is so hardened, you don't want to receive it, fine. That's okay. I'm going to still love you. Hey, I'm going to still extend that love. Hey, like, we don't see eye to eye on that. Okay. I love you. Especially, like, I don't do infighting. Like, I don't want to fight with my brothers in Christ, especially. Like, none of that, you know. I really, like my best friend is Catholic, and we always talk about that all the time. You know, I'm Protestant, like, non-denominational. You know, it's like, we don't fight. Like, we come to our understandings, agreements. We both experience things together. Like, we're both, like, really strong in our faith. Like, he'll teach me some theological stuff, and, you know, I'll teach him some, like, a little bit more, like, relational breakthrough stuff, you know. And it's like, we really, like, sharpen each other in that way. And, you know, it's just another testament to just loving your neighbor.
I wanted to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Elevate Ministries. Elevate Ministries is an authentic, passionate, and innovative church in the heart of Orange County, California. They strive to make their services welcoming and encouraging by intentionally engaging you in all senses to stimulate a spiritual hunger. If you're looking for a great church that's on a mission to change the world one person at a time, I encourage you to check them out at www.elevateministries.com and on Instagram at Elevate Ministries. I think a lot of people, especially in this day and age, are afraid to be bold. So it's good to see a young man, father, you know, fighter, somebody that's in the spotlight, be bold about their faith, you know, and just, like you said, love God and love people, you know, and just be not afraid, because I think there's a lot of people that they're nervous, you know, like, oh, it's going to hinder my brand, especially in the spotlight, you know, is are they going to accept me, not accept me? You know, there's all these factors more than the average person. You know, average person, he can be saved and go to work and come home and go to church, and it's not a huge deal. But when you're in the spotlight and you're kind of feel like, hey, I got to, you know, maybe I got to share my faith a little bit more, and I have this platform for a reason. I think there's always like oh, man, you know.
Yeah, you know, and even that being said, all this is going to turn to dust. So why would I be afraid of something that this world isn't going to last forever? I'm going to die one day. You know, we're all going to go one day. So the Bible says, store up heavenly riches. I don't care about none of this stuff here. You know, I care about people's livelihood. I care about people's souls. I care about people and their struggles, what they're going through. But I also want them to know, like, there is better because there is a Savior. You know, it's not just, oh, I already had the success. I got to the top 15, top 10 of my division. I had money. I was partying, doing all this stuff, like, with the people that I idolized and all this. Like, I got videos of me and Nate Diaz hanging out. Like, I shotgunned my first beer, like, all this crazy stuff. Like, and I'm thinking, I made it. I'm living out every rap song I listen to. I'm at the clubs with bottles and all this stuff and women. None of that brought me any fulfillment. I was the most empty in those moments. And I thought that was the fulfillment I needed. And when I came to that realization, when I would go home and I would wake up and I would just feel empty, I would feel worse, and just chase that over and over again, I said, there's something wrong. Like, I didn't know what it was. I started, like, just trying to figure it out. And I figured it out. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I feel more fulfilled than I ever have in my life. My bank account is lower than it's ever been. And I'm happier than I've ever been. Why? Because I have faith in the Lord. Like, he's going to provide. Like, and I don't have anything to be anxious about. Like, I don't have anything to worry about because it's all taken care of. He's taken care of it all already. And my faith is just, it's really strong. It's just really strong. And I just believe in his teachings. I believe in his commands. I'm just abiding and being obedient. And I just seeing the fruit show. You know, like, spiritually, I'm definitely growing. I'm different. And I just have full fulfillment and joy in Christ. You know, and it's not just some facade. Like, it's truly like transformed my heart, you know, and I love it. And I want everybody to experience this love and joy and peace that he has. And I'm on fire to do that for people and just be that light, you know. It's like, it just brings me joy. You know how, like, oh man, um, just to see what I've come from, see all I've been through, and all the fake smiles I tried to put on about things, and to know like true love, true happiness, because love is an action. You know, the Lord gave his son as an action, and it's like, that's the ultimate act of love. So I just want to keep loving people and extending that love. Like, I've denied myself, I've helped people, I've given people food, I've done all these things. And I here's how the devil is. You were talking about the devil earlier. I've been helping this couple where I live, and you know, I'm just like helping them go to appointments and everything, like little things. Like, I don't want nothing. I'm not asking them for anything. They're like, can I give you money? No, like, I don't want it. I said, just pray. Like, can I pray for you guys? And that's it. That's my payment. You know, like, cool. I had this thought, like, the devil was like, it's like, you would have did this even if you weren't with God. Like, what good is it now? Like, who cares? Like, and I was like, ooh, I was like, all right, you're right. And that's when I started praying with them. And I said, all right, I'm going to turn, just because I would have been a good person and done this regardless, doesn't mean like I can't do this to glorify God now. And I started praying with them, and they've been working on their faith, and now they're starting to believe more, and now they're starting to get into their word more. And I'm just like, that's what it's about. You know, it's like, I was that light through my actions. You know, they would always say, people would say, yeah, I'll take you, yeah, but then they wouldn't come through, and I always come through. Every time they call me, yeah, you need something? Hey, I'm sorry, like, I'm out, I'm in inland right now. Like, can I get you in when I get back? Yeah, take your time. You know, you need an appointment, let me know the date. I'll take you. You know, that's how the Lord has used me. It's not like, bro, you know, like, I don't have to say any of this stuff.
So
you
many
know,
good things, man.
yeah, you know, it's like, these are the good things that I've like just relished in, you know, like through these hard times. Like, dude, my daughter was in the hospital, bro. Like, I was up all night with her. Like, she's been in the hospital twice in the last couple months, and you know, that's really hard as well. But you know, like, through one of the times, you know, like, I hear her like cry out to Jesus, and that's when you asked me that question. Like, I didn't want to get like detailed about it, but I hear her cry out to Jesus, and I was like, wow. And I was a mess during that time. You know, I was like trying to get it together. And then like she says that, and I was like, I like sucked it up and got strong. I was like, oh wow. I was like, and that's when I knew, like, and then she just started being calm after that. I was like, dang. I was like, wow. I was like it was even in the storm, you know, like, he was there, you know.
Makes it all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love, man, that you you can tell that testimony of being at the top of the mountain and finally not this young guy that walked into a gym in the IE and wanted to be a fighter, and then you reach that plateau of I made it, and then realizing like this is not everything it's cracked up to be, still missing something.
Yes.
And I think there's so many people in this world like that. They're striving for the wrong things. No, it's fine to be successful in business, be successful in the spotlight. Those are great things, but it's something different when you have Christ in your life, because when you do hit the hard times and the things, and bank accounts low, families in the hospital, all those other things don't even matter no more. You know what I mean? All that matters is what you have inside.
Yes, amen. And you know, the Bible says, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his own soul?" And I was losing my soul, you know, but all that is also to say, like, he doesn't want you to just be in lack, you know, like, we're still called to live in an abundance. We're still called to live in overflow. And yeah, I've just been studying and learning and just growing and just knowing that I'm just everything I'm sowing will like I will reap a plentiful harvest soon, you know. And I'm just putting the full faith in it.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, man. Can you make a promise to me?
Yeah.
One promise. When you win the belt, can you come back? Please. When you win the belt, we're going to get this on tape, okay? When you win the belt, you'll come back. Come on, man.
Whoa.
When you look it, if you win the belt, I want to have a champ here. Nothing that you're not a champion, but I want to see and touch the belt when you come. So if you win the belt, when you win the belt, can we shake on it that you're going to come back? You leaving me hanging, dog? Come on, man.
Oh, that's intense.
When you win the belt, you're coming back. When you win the belt, you're coming back, man. You leave me hanging?
Dave, I can't make a promise I can't keep. I don't know. I'm not trying to have no doubts.
I'm just saying, when you win the belt, you'll come back. It's what do you mean? You get the belt. I gotta go see Dave. That's all we gotta do. I mean, I'm not putting pressure. Like, you can only come back if you win the belt. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you win the belt, you're gonna bring it over here.
Okay. If I win the belt, it's an if or a win.
I like to say win. I like to have faith. Okay, if your faith's still little, man, it's fine. I think you have all the tools. I think you can win.
Oh man.
For you, if you win the belt, we promise come back. I used if for you.
Okay.
I said when. You said if.
Okay.
Coming back.
Coming back.
All right. Thank you, Jalin.
Thank you, Dave.
I appreciate you, man. You know, we do one last thing on the Street Gospel Furious, on the Street Gospel podcast. We do the Furious 5. So I got to ask you 5 furious questions, man. I won't put you on the spot anymore.
All right.
Question number 1 for the tarantula, Jalin Turner. If you can go back to the guy that was here in May of last year, what would you tell him? Different guy.
Oh man, I don't know. Everything's gonna work out.
Everything's going to work out. Keep your head up. Keep pushing.
Yep.
I love that. Question number 2 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. If your son turns 14, 15 years old and he says, Pops, I want to fight, what are you telling him, man? Have you thought about that?
If he wants to fight, he wants to fight. I'm gonna support him.
You take him to the hood gym and you're going to show him. At least he'll have somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You went in by yourself.
Yeah.
Now you got you to show him the ropes. I mean, so he's going to be ahead of the game if he decides to do that.
Absolutely.
But you would say, let's do it?
Yeah. I always told myself, and I won't force it on them. If they want, they will learn how to fight to defend themselves. But if they want to choose that as a career, that's on them. That's their free choice.
Awesome. Question number 3 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. Now that you moved on up to the OC, man, where do you go? Where are we gonna go for lunch or dinner? Where are you taking me, bro?
Oh, you want to get?
If we go out there, if I go out there one day and you say, "Hey, Dave, I'm gonna take you. We're gonna train a little bit, but we're gonna go eat after." Where are you gonna take me?
I always say this place wrong. La Carniceria Wagyu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or, dang, just lunch or like we getting fancy.
Whatever you want, man. You're dressing fancy today, so I had to step it up a little bit.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe Mastros too.
Oh, really? We're going all out right there, right?
I love the butter cake.
Oh, yeah, the butter cake's fire. The butter cake's fire. All right. Question number 4 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. Favorite fighter on the roster right now? does Jalin like to watch? Who does Jalin say, like, man?
Oh, man. Dang, that's hard. I don't know.
Nobody like to watch. All right, let's make it easier. Favorite fighter of all time?
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva. We
There
already
we
said
go.
that.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, you still run into him every now and then? I know he's
I haven't ran into him
in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't ran into him.
Good. Last question. Question number 5 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. If you can accomplish one thing in this world, just one, and be a success at it, what would it be?
Just one thing.
One thing. They could put something on your tombstone. What would you be most proud of?
Dang, that's hard. Just one thing?
One thing.
Showing the love of Jesus. I think that'll cover everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple. He loved God. He loved people. Easy stuff.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming out, man.
yeah, of course.
Where could everybody find you at? They wanted to follow you. They like you. Said this guy's cool, man. I'm gonna start following It's gonna be my favorite fighter. Nope, I can't say that. He's not fighting anymore. Everybody's retired. Cool guy. Where could they find you?
On Instagram, the Tarantula, and then on Threads, the Tarantula. Facebook, Jalin Turner, and this TikTok, I think it's Tarantula MMA.
Nice. And then your church, the way LA, right?
Yeah.
Good
The Way
church.
LA.
So go check it out if you're in the area. Where it's in West Covina?
La
Covina?
Puente.
La Puente.
Yeah.
Right there in the SGV, fool.
Yeah.
Go check out The Way. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Blessings. I'll be waiting. Make sure you text me if you get that fight. I better be in the top 12 that you're texting that you got the new fight. All right. Text me first though before you put it out there. I appreciate it. That'll conclude this episode of the Street Gospel Podcast with Jalin Turner, the Tarantula. Check him out. We love you guys. We out. Peace.